Have we ever looked at our lives and thought, I don't have enough? Not enough money, not enough time, not enough success, or not enough opportunities. When this thought enters our mind, it can quietly take away our peace. We become so focused on what is missing that we stop seeing what is already present. Rumi tells a beautiful story about this. It is the story of a poor couple, a jar of rainwater, and a great river they could not see. A poor Arab man and his wife lived in the desert. They had very little food, almost no money, and few comforts. One night, the woman told her husband that their poverty had become unbearable. They had no bread, and every day brought more suffering. Her husband tried to calm her. He spoke about patience and contentment. He told that wealth does not always bring happiness and that peace does not come only from owning more. But his wife answered honestly. She told him that it was easy to speak beautifully about patience when the real needs remained unanswered. Her words touched him and he listened. Then she told him about a generous caliph who lived in Baghdad. People said that no one went to his door and returned empty handed. She suggested that her husband visit the caliph and ask for help. The men agreed, but they did not want to arrive without a gift. They looked around their poor home, searching for something valuable to offer. Finally, the woman pointed to the jar, a jar filled with rainwater. In the desert, fresh rainwater was rare and precious. Most of the water around them was bitter or salty. To this poor couple, their jar of rainwater was a treasure. The woman carefully covered the jar and wrapped it in a cloth. The man carried it across the desert, protecting it throughout the long and difficult journey. When he reached Baghdad, he presented the jar to the caliph's servants. He explained that it contained sweet rainwater and that nothing in their desert was more valuable. The servants knew something the poor man did not know. Baghdad stood beside the great river Tigris. The caliph had more fresh water than the man could possibly imagine. At first, the servants wanted to laugh at his simple gift, but the caliph was a kind and generous man, and his kindness had influenced everyone around him. So they accepted the jar respectfully. When the caliph heard the man's story, he did not reject the gift. He accepted it with kindness. Then he ordered his servants to fill the jar with gold. He also gave the man clothes and other gifts. When it was time for the man to return home, the caliph sent him back by boat because traveling by river would be easier. The man entered the boat, and for the first time he saw the river Tigris. He looked at the enormous river flowing through Baghdad, boats traveling across it, and the fresh water seemed endless. Then he looked at his little jar. He lowered his head in wonder. The caliph had an entire river, yet he had respectfully accepted one small jar of rainwater from a poor man. So, what can this story teach us about having a more peaceful life? In one way or another, we all carry a jar. Our jar may be our money, wealth, work, knowledge, appearance, reputation, or achievements. We hold it tightly and compare it with the jars of other people. We worry that ours is too small, too empty, or not good enough. While we are staring at the jar, we may fail to see the river. The river represents everything already supporting our lives: the people who care about us, the abilities we have, the lessons we have learned, the opportunities around us, and possibility of beginning again. This does not mean that we should ignore real difficulties. The couple in Rumi's stories was genuinely poor. They needed help and they took action. Inner peace does not mean pretending that everything is perfect. It means seeing the whole picture instead of seeing only what is missing. Now, let's turn to this story into a practical exercise. We can call it the jar and river practice. It has three simple steps. See the jar, notice the river, and offer one thing. First, we see the jar, we pause and ask ourselves, what am I holding too tightly right now? It may be money, someone's opinion, a past mistake, a difficult relationship, or something we are afraid of losing. Let's choose only one thing. We don't need to judge it or solve it immediately. We simply name it, this is the jar I am carrying. Second, we notice the river. We take a slow breath and ask, what is supporting me that I have stopped noticing? Then we name three things that are already present in our lives. They can be very simple: someone we can call, a useful skill, a safe place to sleep, a healthy part of our body, a lesson we have learned, or another day in which we can begin again. Our problem may still be there, but it is no longer the whole picture. This wider view can immediately create a little more space and peace inside us. Third, we offer one thing. The poor man did not wait till he had a perfect gift. He offered the best thing he had, even though it was only a jar of water. We can ask ourselves, what small thing can we offer today? We may offer someone our attention, a kind word, a little time, useful knowledge, forgiveness, or a sincere effort. When we offer something, we stop feeling completely powerless. We remember that even when we do not have everything, we still have something valuable to give. We can practice these three steps whenever the thought I don't have enough enters our mind. See the jar, name the thing we are holding too tightly, notice the river, remember three things that are already supporting us. Offer one thing, use something we already have to bring a little goodness into the world. Our jar may be small, but our lives are not empty. Something much greater may already be flowing beside us. Rumi leaves us with a gentle truth. Peace does not always begin when we finally possess everything we want. Sometimes peace begins when we stop staring at our little jar and lift our eyes to see the river. For more lessons from Rumi, follow me and wait for the next video.